In the exposition of the novel, it is made very clear Scout's maturity. While throughout the entire rest of the book, it is quite clear that Scout would never be able to understand these advanced concepts being shown to her. She makes a full understanding and grasping of the concept of what Mr. Hecate says to Atticus at the end of the novel. The quote I am referring to is when Mr. Hecate says that Bob Ewell fell on his knife. He says this insistently and constantly, repeatedly making it clear to Atticus that Bob Ewell fell on his knife. As the reader, we all know what really happened. It's not that Jem killed anyone. It's not that Bob Ewell fell on his knife. We know really that it is Mr. Arthur Radley who killed Bob Ewell and put an end to the cycle of the violence. The reason that I claim this shows Scout's maturity is because you can see the way that she reacts to to Atticus telling her that Bob Ewell fell on his own knife. Scout understands what's really happening here. Scout picks up on the things that she may have misinterpreted in her original recitation of the events. How it was really Arthur Radley who had came in there and saved their lives. Scout understands all of this, and with this, Scout says something along the lines of, it'd be sort of like killing a mockingbird, wouldn't it? Atticus is slightly confused for a second, but quickly comes around to the understanding of what Scout is trying to portray. Scout is attempting to say that she understands in full what Mr. Arthur Radley did. Scout is also saying that she understands the reasons why Mr. Hecate does not want to bring this case to the public. This is a very advanced concept for someone at their age to understand, and she understood it completely on her own based off of the dialogue with Hecate and Atticus and based off her recurrence with the events. She did not have any gem to interpret from. This was all based off of her own mind, which I think just reinforces the maturity that is shown by her at the end of the novel. Scout shows that Scout shows more maturity than I would say a lot of the other characters would, even in the town per se. This is a much different kind of maturity than has been discussed throughout the rest of the novel. But I think that Scout demonstrates more maturity than other prominent figures in the novel, such as Stephanie Crawford. Stephanie Crawford, also known as a town gossip, constantly tells everyone about whatever rumor she hears. If Scout... this is just a clear sign of immaturity. If Scout was this immature, she would tell everyone about what happened, everyone about the event, everyone about every single thing that happened. But we know Bob Ewell fell on his knife. She doesn't tell anyone about this event because she has more emotional maturity than even some of the adults in Macomb County. To conclude, Scout's maturity has been building throughout the entire novel, as her age has also been building just the same. She has understood more and more concepts, and I'm sure towards the end, looking back on Mrs. Dubose, the court case, Tim Johnson, I'm sure she greatly understands more of the impact that all of these events had on her life and that of others.